Hey everyone, it's Heralen. I really didn't want to have to make this video, but here we are. So on Saturday morning, I found out that YouTube has completely demonetized my channel, every video, in the past, present, and future, and I still don't really know why. So let me just take you through everything that's happened. So first thing that happened, Saturday, July 11th at 2:56 a.m., I get an email from YouTube. Hi Heralen, our team of policy specialists has reviewed your channel. We found some of the content on your channel is not in line with our YouTube partner program policies. As of today, your channel is not eligible to monetize and you will not have access to monetization tools and features. They also tell me that I shouldn't try to monetize new channels to get around these restrictions. You know, if you get caught doing that, then we'll just terminate all of your channels forever, basically. They gave me the option to appeal, which of course I did, though the appeal process can take up to 14 days, and then they can just reject you anyway. More on that later. And then they told me that what I should do is take a look at what they've told me, change my channel so that it's not breaking the rules anymore, and then reapply for the partner program in 90 days. Now, to be clear, I still have my channel. You guys can still watch the videos and all that. I'm just making zero money from it, basically. It does kind of remind me of last year when Tyler, Ticed Up, had his channel just completely deleted out of the blue for what I'm gonna say is no reason, because we still don't really know why it happened. But thankfully, that was resolved after we made a big fuss about it on Twitter, after, within the same day, basically. So that wasn't too bad, but it is very concerning that that can even happen in the first place. And this right now, what's happening right now, is also extremely concerning. Not just for me, but for other creators, for the whole platform, everything. I also got an email saying that my channel memberships are paused. So if you are a member on YouTube, you probably got some kind of notification saying that too, and this is why. So of course, the first thing I did, I go onto YouTube Studio to try to find out why this happened. The only thing, even up to now, that I have been able to find out is this policy: misleading family content. Content that intentionally or unintentionally could attract young minors and families, but contains mature themes such as sexual content or violence. And if you click on this learn more thing, it takes you to a public page about the child safety policy, and the specific section that pertains to my case, misleading family content, is basically just more of a repeat of this. But essentially, it seems like the main argument for my demonetization is that YouTube has decided that my channel appeals to minors and families, as in most of the people who go to my channel based off of the content, based off of the titles and thumbnails, based off of just the vibe, what it looks like, are children. And then they go and watch the videos and there's stuff, like we swear, or we talk about anime boobies and stuff. We talk about Rent a Girlfriend, whatever it is. And it's misleading, right? It misleads families and children into clicking, and then they get stuff that's not, child appropriate, basically. So some of you might be thinking already, what the fuck? I know. So the first thing I did after that was write the whole appeal. I wrote this long essay basically talking about everything, talking about the stats on my channel. I'm going to show you a tweet that I made basically that says the same stuff. I find out that the form to appeal only allows you to write 1,000 characters max. So I had to basically cut out the majority of what I wrote, which is a very cool thing to see when a platform has taken away your income and you have to appeal within 1,000 characters. So awesome. So I do the standard thing as well. I take it to Twitter. I write a thread going through everything here. And again, all the stuff that I've shared, that is quite literally all the information I have been given. I have been given no examples, zero indication for, hey, which videos might they be? Was this flagged by a person? Was it flagged by a bot, an AI bot, basically? I don't know. I don't know anything. And I shared some more details on this thread too, as well as my appeal. Every single video on my channel, even the unlisted ones, are specifically set as not made for kids. When you upload a YouTube video, there's this setting that you can choose from where you can set it to made for kids. You can set it to not made for kids specifically, or you can just not set it at all. I don't even have anything that isn't set. I go out of my way and deliberately make sure that everything, even unlisted videos on my channel, is specifically set on the not made for kids tag. And then I went to my audience demographics. I went ahead and looked at the last 28 days. I went ahead and looked at the last 90 days, as well as lifetime. And just for the last 28 days, the largest age group that watches me is 25 to 34 years old. 40.3% of my audience today is 25 to 34 years old. The second largest group is 18 to 24 at 23.5%, which means over 60% of my audience is between the ages of 18 and 34. You can see the graph here and see that very clearly my channel is not meant to be a targeted for kids and families channel. Even going beyond the stats, I write here every person who's ever been featured on my channel is an adult through the tone and the contents of each video and even the titles and thumbnails. If you just watch 5 seconds of any video basically, it should be obvious that this is not a kids channel. This is not kids content. And it's obvious what this policy is for, right? There's a lot of channels. Everyone remembers the Elsa Gate stuff. This is still going on, by the way. Like, there's tons of channels on YouTube, thousands of them, every day that are just pumping out content that features disgusting, like sexualized, weird fetish stuff for kids. They are targeted specifically towards children, towards vulnerable groups, towards like just little kids and families, towards iPad babies, things like that. And then they just have like the grossest, most disgusting thing you've ever seen in there. There's sexualized stuff, there's violence, there's just anything you can really imagine. That stuff is all over YouTube. So I understand that the policy is correct. It should be like that, where you're not allowed to have children as your target demographic, as your main target audience, and then fill your videos up with vulgar, disgusting shit. So this tweet goes out, people who follow me make a big deal out of it. It's the standard procedure basically for, if you want YouTube to actually respond to you, which, by the way, keep in mind for everything that I'm saying, my case is one where I do have an audience and I am able to rally a bunch of people against YouTube and get their attention. But for every case like mine, there's probably 100 or 1,000 more where people don't get to do that. They don't have the audience, they don't have, the kind of rallying power, and their case just gets lost forever, basically. Now, from there, a couple things happen. So I also take it into the DMs for the team YouTube account on Twitter. I say, hey, is there anyone who can help with this? They do respond, and they say that we will respond within 14 days with a decision. And I say, thanks, but 14 days is a crazy amount of time for someone to see if they've basically just permanently lost their source of income. And I ask repeatedly for any details about why this decision was made. Give me one example. Give me any example of how I violated this policy. Because there could be stuff that, you could make an argument for some things, right? Like, yeah, I showed too many anime titties in the Anime Jeopardy 1 time or 2 times, right? Maybe they don't like the adult romance sex is normal video, even though it has the word adult in the title. I don't know what it is exactly, but I just want an answer. Anything. So they say, not a problem. Right now, we recommend waiting for the decision of your appeal. All of the details on the resource we previously shared. Totally understand your frustration. Let us know if you have any other questions. The resource they shared is just, here's how you appeal to the partner program. So it says that same stuff about, yeah, just do it, wait 14 days, we'll let you know, which is completely useless, basically. So I tell them that. I say, this is not helpful. I am talking about just give me any reason that led to the actual decision on monetization. Anything, right? Even if there is a legitimate case, I at least still want to know what caused this so that I can avoid this going forward. At that point, they completely stop responding on Twitter, but a few hours after that, I get a response via email saying this. Hi partner, good day. Kind of a weird way to start this, but okay. Thanks so much for raising your concern to us. It is incredibly stressful to have your hard work rejected, blah, 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 blah. I'll be glad to assist you. I escalated your channel to our internal team for review and expect to hear back within a couple of days. I'll get back to you with an update as soon as I have more to share. Thanks for your patience. All the best, Angela. So I respond, thanks so much for reaching out. I appreciate having a direct contact. Basically, I appreciate being able to actually talk to a person about this. I really want to know basically the cause, right? I'm saying this over and over again. I want to know what caused this. Give me any information. Give me even just a single example. I then hear nothing for about 4 hours, which is cool. And the response that I get, I also tweeted out a new Twitter thread about this, but I'll just show you like the raw email here. It says, hi, Angela. Thank you for your patience while I worked with our internal team to review your concern. I have received an update from our internal team. Following an internal review, they've said internal 3 times now, of your appeal, our team has confirmed that the previous decision stands. Our specialist reviewed your channel and found that a significant portion of your channel is not in line with our YouTube partner program policies. And then they give me, finally, what I'm asking for, an example. No, I'm just kidding. They don't. They just say the same thing again, misleading family content. Here's what it means. Learn more here. That's the same link as before. And then they just kind of kill me. As of today, your channel is not eligible to monetize, blah, blah, blah. We understand this is tough news. We have a responsibility to ensure that our community is safe for creators, viewers, and advertisers. Cool, man. At the same time, we understand that you may have unintentionally made mistakes. I may have unintentionally made mistakes, which is why I can reapply for the program in 90 days. Great. And then they end the email saying, thanks, Alan. I don't know how much more obvious I can make this. My name is not Angela. My name is Alan. The person who supposedly wrote this email to me is named Angela. And they called me Angela and themselves Alan. I don't really think I really need to say much else here, right? So I saw this. I was getting ready for bed. It was midnight. And I just could not stop laughing. This is the silliest email I've ever gotten. It's absolutely insane. This has just completely blew my fucking mind. So I took it back to Twitter. I shared this with everybody. I said this was a clown show, and YouTube support, Team YouTube, reaches out to me again. So sorry about this, blah, blah, blah. We shared more info via DM. I replied to them saying, hey, thanks, but what the fuck actually happened here? I still have no information at all, really. They did tell me that your status is being manually reviewed. I don't know how much I believe that. I don't think I even believe that this reply was written by a person. And in the DMs, they just say, hey, we've checked your channel and it shows that your case is still open. If you have questions, you can reply to the same email, blah, blah, blah. I did reply to that email and got nothing. And then I also replied to this thread and got nothing. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was a little bit sassy and I finished my email by saying, thanks from Alan, not Angela. And maybe the AI got a little mad at me because I decided to sass it a little bit. I don't know. Either way, it seems like I have yet to speak to an actual living human being throughout this entire process from start to finish. Even now, I have still received no details, no examples, nothing about how the heck my channel violates this policy, how it is that they think that my channel is targeted towards children. Is it just because it has anime on it and like some Pokemon videos and that's how they decide? Is it now the case that every video about anime and Pokemon in it should not have any swear words in it or anything? Regardless of what it is, I have always taken the stance that, hey, if there is something that I did wrong, tell me, I'll fix it. If there's a particular video that violates that should be demonetized, okay, I'll demonetize that video. You can demonetize that video. I can edit out a scene if that is the thing that violated it. I'm open to this stuff, right? But you have to tell me what happened first. If you don't do that, I don't have a clue. I might reapply for this thing in 90 days and change nothing because I don't know what the fuck happened. And the same thing might happen. I don't know. Now, what does this mean for my channel? The short answer is I don't really know. I do have one video that's currently in progress. I can tell you that even if we hit the worst case scenario and, it's clear that I'm just going to be demonetized indefinitely, I'll at least release that one, even if it makes no money at all, just because, I think it should go out there. I don't want it to go to waste. I want you guys to be able to enjoy it regardless. But for any content after that, I can't really be certain. I don't know. Hopefully we do hit the best case scenario where, this is resolved like 5 seconds after I publish this video and I never needed to make it in the first place. But we'll just have to see about that. I would love to continue making content, of course, but it is an extremely time-consuming and energy-consuming thing to be doing basically for free. And at the same time, I'm also not comfortable completely relying on stuff like sponsorships to keep things going, because then I'd inevitably be making the content way worse by injecting it with, it's a bunch of slop, basically. A lot of slop, a lot of ads that you guys don't want to see, stuff that's just not relevant to you guys. I already reject the vast majority of sponsor requests that I get for this reason, just because, it would basically just slop up the channel unnecessarily. And if I can just kind of have a talk to the camera moment, maybe talk to YouTube if someone is watching, I don't know if that's the case or not. This is exactly the type of thing that really erodes trust between creators, viewers, and YouTube as a platform. Because this is exactly the type of thing that stops people like me and others from putting more time and energy into making content and pursuing our passions. In my case specifically, knowing that this was possible was always one of the reasons why I have yet to go full-time with content creation, because I would be fucked right now if I had. I've seen a lot of calls from my community for Google to stop using AI because of this, and because of the many other cases like this that they see every day. I also know that realistically that's never going to happen. Google is a $4 trillion company whose valuation is held up, along with the rest of the tech industry and basically like the entire global economy at this point, by the promise of AI. Let me try to foolishly give some feedback to YouTube in what I hope is a more realistic way. You're gonna use AI as much as possible to automate YouTube support, right? That's just true. I know there's basically nothing anyone can say to change that, but at the very least, before you deploy to production, make sure that your automation pipeline is completely and thoroughly tested. Account for the false positives like what I believe my case is and the countless other ones like mine count as. Make sure that you're actually properly targeting the thousands of channels out there that actually harm the children and other vulnerable groups on the platform. Now, the other part of this, which is probably just as, if not even more important than making sure your bots aren't flagging the wrong channels to begin with, is the follow through. It's the communication. If you have AI agents that are going around flagging channels and demonetizing and deleting them, surely those same bots should be capable of delivering a more specific reason to people than here's just this vague policy that you violated. No, we will not tell you how you violated it. We will not give you any examples of how. And here's also just the exact same link to our policies page, like 100 times. Surely, even if they're messing up, the bots should have some kind of reason for why they flagged you in the first place. So you should be able to tell that to us, even if it's completely wrong and makes no sense. And surely there's also some way that YouTube can stop going straight for the nuke so often too. Like, I would not have minded at all if I was just instead told like, hey, we found this video and this video over here that contains these scenes at these timestamps that violate our policies, right? We've demonetized these certain videos until you cut those scenes out or whatever. That's exactly how it works for copyright claims, so why can't it work for this case too? Instead, I'm just vaguely told that, hey, a significant portion of my channel violates the rules, and that's it. What the hell does that even mean? Nobody really knows. Now, I'm not really naive enough to think that a case like mine, even if you combine this with like all of the other channels facing this problem on a daily basis, are enough to make a dent in YouTube's bottom line or their stock price or any of the KPIs that their executives care about. Even if you add all of us up, we're probably not even like 10% of one Mr. Beast, right? So yeah, Google, the $4 trillion company, can almost definitely afford to keep kicking the can down the road and making empty promises that this process is going to improve. There's also no legitimate competitor that exists to YouTube to motivate that change either, so that's a huge part of this too. No one is really going away. Regardless of how cases like mine end up, everyone is still going to be on YouTube. There is no other real option. But I would at least like to stupidly imagine that there's some kind of sense of responsibility to the users and creators that make up the foundation of this platform. That YouTube can still give a shit about anyone who doesn't generate millions of dollars a month in ad revenue for them. I can only hope. So yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry if this got a little long. If I missed anything in this video because I kind of made this in a bit of a rush, or if there's any other major updates, I'll leave them in a pinned comment or something. You guys will see. Needless to say, I don't feel great right now, obviously. I hope things will improve in some way. I hope we get past this whole thing, and I hope YouTube can actually improve their processes, include people in the loop more often, please. I'm just over here trying to make stupid Anime Jeopardy videos, and this stuff has to happen. Cool. I do really appreciate anyone who, has been in the Discord or on Twitter or anywhere else supporting me, kind of fighting with me. It's always really nice to see all the support that comes from the community. I appreciate you guys watching this. Hopefully this gets resolved. I'll see you around.